Wow, what's this, right? Like, what, 2 videos this month?
I'm Foulmouth. F you, shit. Quack!
Howdy there, Marty here, aka the Murdoch, and we're back in this video with... That was not very well done, but a Transformers video. This guy here is Ectotron, right there. You got some glare there. Yeah, it is obviously in tribute or part of the crossover between Ghostbusters and Transformers. I saw this in Target, and I just thought it was really cool. I thought it would make a good video. I felt like I stuttered there. A good video. I thought it would make a good video, just because it was a cool looking figure, and I was kind of excited about it. This is a total impulse buy, or was a total impulse buy. I've purchased it, so it's done. Cool looking packaging here. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. Kind of the classic bot and alt mode shots there on one side. The other side is just, you see into the blister. Obviously the front, I've showed that a bunch of times. You get a comic back there, which is really cool. And then you get the back of the box, I don't want to forget that. You get like the power charty thing right there. Hopefully that focuses okay. You can pause there if you want to actually see how he stats out. I don't really care a whole lot about that stuff, but I really dig that they're going with the G1 style art all around. The bottom is more like product shots and stuff. Nothing really exciting about that, but yeah, really cool. It looks like assuming he's essentially a Voyager size figure. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but I realized this is like the second version of this figure. About a year and a half ago, right? The first version was released. It had a different style box. It looked much more aligned with the old school G1 style box. I don't know if they really messed with the tooling. Someone down there below could let me know, but I know the paint apps are a little bit different. I don't have another figure, so I won't be able to do like a side-by-side comparison, unfortunately. But let's take a look, break out the grandpa knife, and yeah, we'll see if this is a good figure. It looks solid. And give it a slicey McSlice across there. So before I rip him out, that's kind of what he looks like in the tray there. So you have Ectotron himself, you have Slimer, and I believe this guy was called Muncher. You got the Proton Pack there. Alright. You got some heft. Okay, I'll admit it. He's a little bit lighter, but for a second I was like, oh, he's got heft. And I'm like, no, actually, he's kind of light given his silhouette here. Got the Proton Pack here. Okay, see how it plugs in. It looks simple enough. Yeah, the molded in detail is quite nice. It's certainly lacking some paint apps that I would have liked to have seen. We got Slimer here. Let's see. Try to hold it like that. Is that gonna... That's probably really hard to focus on. Somewhere in there. He's squishy. He looks like Slimer. Certainly... No complaints there, I guess. And similarly for this Muncher dude, here you go. Once again, the molded in detail ain't bad, but there's not really a whole lot going on. Obviously, the main course here is Ectotron himself, and bot mode here, not bad. Looks all right. Let's take the Proton Pack here. This is not good. This is not good content. There is a tab back here. Right on the back, right there. Slots into the back of the light bar. Kind of friction pegs into the light bar, like so. Which, it's fine. Something like that. There you go. I do like the hose details themselves. It's just like, it's a little finicky. In terms of the paint apps and stuff, no complaints here. I think they're pretty good in bot mode. Like, he looks, well, he's not like all washed out, all one color or one plastic. So I think that's good there. I do like the new details on this version with the weathering. That'll come across better in alt mode itself. I like the silver. The metallic paint is pretty nice. Silver on the chest. And they have his Ectotron badge right there. We're gonna focus right under his left boobie. I like the green on the eyes. The faceplate's pretty unique looking. I like that his face is asymmetrical in terms of just like the eye portion, so I think that's cool. Yeah, he feels like he's gonna be pretty posable. He's got sort of a light ratchet. Hips half swivel. His knees bend 45-ish, so that's good enough. He's got these little heel spurs that keep him balanced. They're articulated. His toes aren't. Oh, his toes actually are. Well, you just gotta mess around with these guys. This was never my strong suit, doing this kind of stuff. His arms do plenty. I mean, we have a bicep swivel. The shoulders ratchet. Yeah, you know, he's got tons of range of motion. I mean, front to back, it's pretty limited. His head can do a full 360. Nods up and down a little bit so he can rock out. Plenty for a Transformer, especially a relatively boxy-looking Transformer. I'm not Mr. Showing Off Transformations. If you want a good video on like showing off transformations, you know, you can go watch Emgo or Optibotimus, or I mean, there's literally dozens of other people out there who probably will do a technically more proficient job than myself. Okay, let's see here. I've done this once. Get his shoulders out there. Yeah, it's really solid overall. I think it is very cool. The finicky rubber bits I just don't love. I like the kind of the cream color of the car. I definitely like the extra deco of the kind of weathering on the grille and hood areas. Just comes across pretty nicely. Also comes with a comic, which is really neat. I love comics. So it comes with Transformers Ghostbusters #1 from IDW. I'm a dumb guy. I didn't really think about it, but just yeah, obviously they would do something with the Ghost of Starscream in the Transformers Ghostbusters crossover, right? Like, that's what's happening. There you go. Nice centerfold of Ectotron there. Yeah, it's neat. I think it's a really cool add-on. The comic itself wouldn't really drive me to buy the toy. So, I might possibly throw this guy on the Wrestle Review Station. We'll do some more close-ups and some comparisons. And for those of you that care, Ectotron stands at about 7¼ to 7½ inches tall. Here we have Ectotron with some typical figures. We have a WWE Elite Bret Hart. We have the yellow Daredevil Marvel Legends Bucky Cat body there. We have Ectotron himself. We have a Marvel Select Ultron. And then, of course, we have a Chernobog Pop at the far right. And this is how he scales with his own comic. And a standard American graphic novel, trade paperback, whatever you want to call it. And this is how he scales with an 8-ounce bottle of hand sanitizer. And this is how he scales with an 8-ounce bottle of sunscreen. Now, this isn't an illusion. These are both 8-ounce bottles, but you can see that they don't actually scale all that well between the two of them. And right here, next to a couple apples and a banana, you could tell Ectotron has a pretty good size to him. And here we have him next to a random DVD case right there. He scales pretty well, but this is probably not a relevant comparison for most people. But it might be relevant to somebody. And finally, possibly a more helpful comparison here, we have him next to a Voyager class Starscream and a Deluxe class Starscream. And I believe earlier in the video, I called him out as a Voyager, not really known any better and not having held a Transformer for a little bit. He's kind of looking more like a leader class next to an actual Voyager and a Deluxe class. So I just spoke for like several minutes to myself about my final thoughts on this figure. And I realized I wasn't recording. On the whole, though, I think this is a really solid figure. I think if you're on the fence, it's probably not a figure I would give a super duper strong recommendation for. It does create a really nice alt mode. I think that's where the strength of this figure lies. If I'm being terribly honest, I think the alt mode is really, really strong. The only downside to that is, like, you know, if you're going to put this on your shelf, it doesn't really do a lot in alt mode. I think they did a really good job of making an Ecto-1 that happens to transform into a pretty competent robot. I suppose for now, that's going to be it for this portion of the video. Back to you. Me? Well, I suppose that's going to do it for this one. I sure hope you enjoyed the video. If nothing else, I hope you found it entertaining. It probably wasn't very helpful or informative enough for you to, like, make any educated decisions, and I apologize for that right now. But if you did like it, go ahead and hit the like button. If you'd like to see more videos from me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Like I always say, it makes me feel like I accomplished something. But otherwise, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Sometimes this stuff is really stupid and it makes you feel really dumb, like a big fucking dumb idiot. It's like, oh, this is intended for kids. I can't fucking figure it out.